My name is Nicole and I work for Metro. Metro is a regional government here in the Portland area. We're in charge of quite a few things. We take care of a lot of the parks, we take care of the zoo, and we're also in charge of the trash and recycling. Part of our job is to teach others different ways that we can take care of our community to ensure that everyone has access to clean air, clean water, and clean green space. Which brings us to our topic, Earth choices. We're going to examine our everyday choices and how that might impact our planet. You ready to get started? In your studies, you've learned how everything is interconnected. There's all these systems in place that are interdependent of one another in order to maintain a healthy and balanced environment. An example of this would be a food chain, right? This animal eats this animal eats this animal, so on and so forth. In fact, can you think of another system that's in place in our environment to help keep things healthy and balanced? Sure, the water cycle, the life cycle of a butterfly, and even the change of the seasons are all systems that we have in place to keep things healthy and running. Well, we as humans are interconnected to all of these systems and can have a positive or a negative impact on our planet based on our everyday choices. Now, in order for us to understand that, we need to look at the natural resources that we use in our everyday lives. So, what's a natural resource? Yeah, you're right. A natural resource is something that is made by the planet and that we pull and that we use in our everyday lives. You know, the indigenous people are the original experts when it came to thoughtful and clever use of natural resources in their everyday lives. For instance, when you and I see a cedar tree, we think, oh, wood for building homes. But for the Kalapuya, a local indigenous tribe, they use the cedar wood not only for building homes, but for building canoes and even bowls. In fact, they used every part of the tree. They used the bark to make clothing and for hats. In addition, they used the leaves for herbs and medicine. In fact, they were incredibly resourceful and were able to survive 14,000 years on these traditions and continue to use them today. Now, before we dive into how natural resources pop up in our everyday lives, I want to point out that natural resources are broken up into two categories. They are under either renewable or non-renewable. What does that mean? Well, renewable means that these natural resources can replenish themselves naturally in a short amount of time. So that would be wood, even the sun. Non-renewable means that when we use it, that's pretty much it. It's a finite amount. We're not going to get any more in our lifetime. So does that make sense? Cool. All right, well, this is what I want you to do. There are two links on the bottom of the screen. Go visit these websites and there are games on natural resources. You can do one or you can do both, whatever you want. You can also find these links on our Earth Choices student guide. Check them out. When you're all done, come back and we'll watch our second video on Beyonce.